I'd like to welcome you guys to this week's report. We've had a mixed bag of weather this week. Some days are nice, some days are windy as heck. Today is Thursday, it's not too bad, and doesn't look too bad the rest of the weekend in some areas. Kind of windy in others, but I'll get to that when I break down the different zones for you guys. We had the Rockfish opener over the weekend, and some of those did pretty good on some real quality rockfish. A lot more of the bank rockfish, slope rockfish that we normally see because they're fishing deeper. Chili peppers, the speckled bank perch, the you name it, a bunch of different ones. But the problem that a lot of boats face is that the passengers that came out, and I'm talking about sport boats here, weren't prepared for the depths that they were fishing. And I don't know if you are aware, we have new depth regulations, so they can fish a lot deeper than they used to. And a lot of these boats are fishing in water up to 600 feet of water now. And while there's good untapped rockfish there, you have to have the right gear to get down in that depth. You know, 600 feet of water is 200 yards, which is pretty obvious, but people don't really consider that when they spool up their reels. You know, you get a reel with 50-pound braid on it, or 65-pound braid, and the reel seems like it's got a lot of line on it, but if you got 250 yards of line on that reel, you're going to have trouble fishing at that depth. You're basically not going to have enough line to make it to the bottom if there's any current, because the line will get scoped out, and also that heavier braid will cause your line to scope out and make you need a heavier sinker and issues like that. So if you're planning on doing any rockfish, you're going to want to have the right gear on it. I talked about it in one of my SoCal Bight Fishing Academies a few weeks ago. You can look at the BDOutdoors YouTube page and find that. But briefly, you're probably going to go out to fish rockfish on a sport boat. I'd pick up a level wind reel like this. This is a Penn Squall 20 level wind. Very inexpensive reel, less than 150 bucks. This thing holds 600 yards of 30-pound braid. So you can fish at 200 yards deep water and still have 400 yards line on the reel, which means your reel's going to be more full than empty when you make it to the bottom at 600 feet. That means less turns of the handle bringing up your fish. That means if you have to scope out, you got plenty of line capacity. If you get a tangle, you get cut off, you still have plenty of line capacity. The 30-pound braid sinks quicker, so it's not going to scope you out like heavier line would. And if you're on a sport boat, I would just bring 24-ounce sinkers up to, you know, even a 2-pound sinker. But a 24-ounce is probably fine if you fish 30-pound braid. And if you go ready for that, you're going to have no problem fishing at depth. Nice light reel. Put this on a jig stick or even a heavy bass rod, and you'll be fine. But just be aware that's the deal now. So make sure you get geared up before you head out. So let's go to the map and see what's happening. As I mentioned before, the weather is definitely going to be a factor in certain areas, and that includes up north. Channel Islands, it's going to be pretty windy Friday and Saturday. The best day up there is Easter. So any of you heathens that aren't going to church or spending time with your kids, probably be a good time to go fishing. I have to do family stuff. Rockfish bite up there has been good. Even though when they're stuck on the coast now, they're fishing a little deeper than they usually do and having good results. So if you're fishing on a trip and they're going to fish the coast, you're probably going to be fishing a little bit deeper. If you go to the Santa Rosa or San Miguel, you'll be fishing deep, the normal shallower water most likely. And by shallow, I don't mean super shallow, but it's not going to be 600 feet of water. Yeah, but the weather's not great up there this week. So Sunday and Monday are your best days. If I was going to go out, I'd pick one of those two and just go then. And yeah, I know that some of the guys fishing the island have had, catching some halibut and some bass and stuff like that. I saw a report from my friend Pat up there had a halibut at Santa Cruz Island, I think, the other day. So there's always that stuff happening up that way. But if you're going to go up there, I'd go for rockfish. And if you're going to go for rockfish, I'd wait for better weather. Heading down, San Nick's going to be blown out. Dirt Clod blown out. Sport boats might run out there, but I mean, it's, I think Saturday night's probably the night to go, but it's going to be probably pretty rough because it's been blown out there for quite a while. San Clemente Island is basically closed for Navy stuff, and the schedule's just all over the place. So if you're planning to head out there, I'd really take a hard look and make sure that the area you plan to fish can be open on the day you plan to go there. And that being said, I don't think the Friday or Saturday is the day to go out there due to wind if you're a private boater. Catalina, a lot of boats fishing cod there, doing well. On a nice note, there's also some halibut biting around there in the island. So a lot of these 3/4 day boats are fishing rockfish first and going to the island trying to catch a halibut. There were a couple of sea bass caught there at night the other day. Water temps aren't great. I mean, I don't think that's going to be a flamethrower on pelagic species anytime soon. But you know, got a shot. If you got live squid, go over there and fish the beaches for halibut. Probably have a catch fish or two. And good rock fishing if you fish a little deeper. Private boaters. Weather looks okay Friday and Saturday. It's not going to be great. If you're going to fish Catalina on Friday or Saturday, I would expect you'd probably have to tuck in somewhere to stay out of the wind. I don't think it'd be great private boat rockfish fishing because it'd be too fast of a drift. Sport boats, I don't think it's going to be much of an effect on that at all, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. And that kind of applies to the area down at the 14 Mile Bank where a lot of guys are fishing now. That area's just crowded as heck, and it's going to be a fast drift, so definitely fishable, but not ideal conditions for that type of fishing. Most of the stuff along the coast looks pretty good. I might go out Friday or Saturday, I'm not sure, and probably just fish bass. My boat's been sitting at dry weight for what feels like about 8 years now because I haven't been able to fish because of weather, but hopefully I'll get out this weekend. Down south, there were some yellows biting coronados last week. Since then, there's been very limited coverage. The boats I've heard of are still seeing some fish, but they're not biting. Weather's been crappy down there. Most of the guy private boaters just running down fishing rockfish, so we don't, you know, I'm sure there's yellows there. It's that time of year. They were there. It's not like they're leaving. More should show up. I think the area just needs some coverage. It's going to be a little bit breezy this weekend down there, but I think it'll be fishable. Heading down further, the tuna grounds, I think last weekend a couple of fish were caught, but not a whole lot seen. And then that's the last we've had any reports from that zone. I saw that there's some day-and-a-half trips online this weekend, and I'm hoping they find some fish. The only problem is down in that zone where they were biting is going to be windy all weekend. And the day-and-a-half zone up calling that down through Kamloops where they're fishing those yellows is going to be windy as well. So I don't think it's going to be so windy the sport boat can't go out and fish, but it's probably not going to be great weather for looking for surface sign and things like that. But you know, maybe these boats will venture out and find some stuff closer to home for us to catch. I don't know why it wouldn't be other places. We had this full moon that we're just coming off here, the pink moon. And if I was going to look for tuna, it'd be around the full moon or new moon. So I think that hopefully we'll see a little sign for if any of these boats make it off the dock. I know that they have trips online down south, but I don't know if they have tickets sold. So yeah, I guess that's about it for this week. You know, we've got a great week of weather coming up, so hopefully things improve overall. And I wish you all a happy Easter and good luck if you get out there and go fishing.